this. I got both heaters on in here right now. Cut one off. It's a beauty. I've got each one of them on 2 different thermostats. So we are working on saws tonight. Well, I'll show y'all here what I'm doing. Let me flip this camera around. Everybody's showing up. All right, so this is the 500. I run it a bunch today. And then, of course, this is the fuel injected saw. So I've got the covers off of it, all the way off of it, and just cleaning it up. I just blowed it all out here. And you can see some of the, that's what I look for on a saw, is the fiber build up on everything. So we're just kind of going over it all, looking at it, and blowing it off, and I'm sharpening it too. I've sharpened one side of it already. But one thing I want to do here, they put a lot larger air filter on the 500 than any other steels. There, let's see here. It just pulls off is all that it does. All right. So I'm going to let y'all watch this right here. Okay. So we got a clean spot right there. We're going to ease it off. You see all that fiber right there up under it. I don't think that steel will ever catch Husqvarna on air filtration. All right, so I've got a rag around here somewhere. Story of my life. I can't never find stuff once I set it down. I'll just get a new one here. Y'all just bear with me, because I'm real meticulous about this stuff, and this may be why my saws last a long time. So, let's see here. I'll flip it back around. I see everybody showing up. I'm not really keeping up with the comments too well. So this ring here is where it seals right there. And I want to get, because if it gets inside there, it's going to suck straight into the engine. And this is a $1,400 saw without tax. But I was saying, I don't think this steel is ever going to catch Husqvarna on the pre-filtering part on their saws. The Husqvarna is phenomenal on pre-filtering, or getting most of the debris out of the air before it goes into the filter. So, all right, you see the table's clean right here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start bumping it. And this is only after about 2-3 tanks of gas, maybe, because I'm pretty anal about this stuff like this right here. No, I forget who that was that just said that. Won't be watching this, no, this won't be watching this tomorrow there, David. This will be the sawing I did today. It'll probably be next week sometime, I imagine. So we're still, that's a pretty good sized area right there. I don't like to use, if I do use air on a chainsaw filter use very light air. Most of the time, just knocking them out like this right here will work. Now, see, those are big pieces right there. It says still, it's still lacking on that stuff like that right there. And there's still things embedded in those pleats right there. Derek, there probably are. I'm just not familiar with them. The one thing, the Husqvarna, the way they've got their air routed through their flywheels and all, it pulls, it gets a lot of this stuff out before it ever gets to the filter right there. Which I'm not complaining about that. I'm just pointing that out. I mean, because what makes one of these saws run is clean air, and the longevity of it is clean air. So we're going to set that right there. And well, this stuff can dust a motor quick. You can see the line of stuff. Bruce, that's the 500 right there. It's the 500. So, and that's after about 3 tanks of gas right there too. So make sure you keep your eye on that and knock all that stuff out. And there's old Napa Brent right there. A lot of people never do this stuff to their saws. Just every couple, 2 or 3 tanks of gas, I do this. And like I said a while ago, that may be why I have such good luck with the longevity of my saws, because if this stuff, if it clogs up, if the filter plugs up, the saw's not going to run. It's not going to run very efficiently. And then if that stuff gets by that filter and actually goes right there, it goes straight into the right into the engine of the saw, and that's not a good thing. It'll dust that engine there. I apologize in advance. I'm not really looking at the comments. I want to do a live feed here while I was doing this stuff tonight, and so I just went live and I just kind of glance at them every now and then there. Let's see here. Just like to clean it all off. So this filter here is just actually just sitting on there. Let's see here. It's sitting on there, but I'll show you something here. So stick it on. Now, well, it's upside down. Let me pull it off. It's pretty snug on there when you put it on. I mean, it goes on pretty snug, and that's what you want. So when you put the cover on it right there, which I'll do in just a second, it kind of holds a little pressure on it right there too. All right, let's get this cover. This steel here has a 2-piece cover on it. Get over the decomp. I'm gonna have to put y'all down here. Flip it there where y'all can see right here. There we go. And then this one here is pretty clean on the inside right there. Let's see. Look at that right there. Let's see, man, that grease, the bottom of the filters to stop dust from going up under it. Let's see. A lot of filters have some grease on them like that, like when you get them there. I'll do that later though. All right, So I've already sharpened one side of this chain here. I'm about to get the other side. And we're cutting a gullet tonight too. So I'll let y'all watch. We're gonna get the gullet first. And then we'll come back with an edge on it. So I'm gonna cut the gullet. Let's see. I'm gonna cut the gullet with a 4mm file. I hadn't hit the gullet on this one yet. Okay. And this is my weak side right here too. So we're gonna run the gullet. Y'all ain't gonna be able to see real well. Let me do this. I'll keep it where y'all can see. There, that's gonna be better. Okay. So this is where the magic happens for me. This is a, still calls it a 25-inch bar, but it's still 84 drive lengths, which is what a normal 24 is. So this is a smaller file. This is a 4mm right here. And we're just going down in the bottom of the tube. And what this does is it allows, on a round file chain, it allows better chip flow when it comes off the top plate and the cutter up here. Cut down some big trees today. The point on that one is gone. I hit something with that one there. Just don't even worry about it. All right, so now we're back to where we started at. So that was a gullet. This is a normal 3/8 pitch chain right here. And on most 3/8 pitch chains, they call for a 7/32 file, is what they call for. But still recommends running a 13/64 file on this right here. And it's just a little bit smaller diameter file than the 7/32 is, and I think they do that where to get up underneath the tooth a little bit more. So now we're going to hit it with this right here. So I'm hitting it and I'm going 30 degrees is what I'm sharpening this one at. All right, that's it. God, boy. That thing would, it would hurt you right there. All right, let me get this out. All right, we're gonna check one more thing. The rakers, the depth gauges. I should check these before I sharpen it there. Or drags. Oregon calls them all three. It can be called any of them. All right. So they can actually have a little bit worked on them. Let's see. All right, that's that entire side right there. That's more better. Okay. I do like this bar, this steel light bar. All right, that's it right there. And on the money, so don't ever, man, of course, this file right here has a smooth edge on it right here. And so if you bump the cutter tooth with it, it's not gonna hurt it. Some of them don't have a smooth edge. They still have a edge on it there, but you can see all the stuff in it right there. And so that dude there's it's ready to go now. Let me see here. I think Steel does a better job on their captive bar nuts. I'll show you here. Oh, these dogs came from a West Coast saw, but see and they just bolt right on right there. That's all they do. You can see the inside all the junk in there. We're gonna clean that out. You see everything right there, too. And see all this. You gotta clean all this stuff out, man. Right there is where the oil comes out, the oil, the bar right there. Okay, so. Oh, I hadn't switched. I still run. I still got Husky. I hadn't switched. Never fear. I'm just running. I got some steels. I got 3 steels to see what I like, and what I don't like. All right. So I've been running this bar flipped over. These are about $9 or $10 off Amazon right there. That's what they are. Let's see here. Watch this. You see it rolling out right there? See it? All the way down. See, I'm still dragging stuff out of there. So, right there is one of your oil ports. Where it goes into, feeds down the bar, which they wasn't using that one because I was running the bar upside down, so that one wasn't even being used. This is the one that was being used right here, and you can see. Can you see the stuff in it right there? So this was the top side of the bar. Watch the stuff come out of it right there. That's a lot of stuff in there. And keep in mind that I do this after every few tanks of gas, 3 tanks of gas, or every job that I do this right here. If I go and do a job, I come back in here and I pull the bar off and I clean those rails on it. See, uh-oh, big blob fell out right there. One thing you don't ever want to do is take air and blow and spin that sprocket right there, because that thing could blow up on you right there. So what I do to make sure that I've got those oil journals clean is air rubber tip blower. See that one right there? You can't even see in it. So we're gonna blow it out. It's still got stuff hung in it. I got it that time. All right. So now, look at it right there. That's on the, that would be, if I was running upside down, that would be the one. It would go like this right here. And then there's the one for right side up there. All right, so that bar is ready to go back on, but the saw's not ready yet. So we're gonna take and we're gonna clean all this junk out. It went all over my daggum good clean shirt right there. Look at all that. Okay, so we're gonna blow. probably ain't gonna be able to see a lot on this, but I'm still gonna continue to run the bar upside down this next round too. I like to flip that bar back and forth where everything wears pretty even on it. I know y'all can't see, but I can't help it right now. Let's see. And these 212 on a Friday night. That's pretty good. Here, I guess everybody they hanging here with me on Friday night. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Come on, man. There. So the studs on a steel, you got like a shoulder you got to get them up on. And I actually hit my my chain catch over here today. I threw the chain off. Let me grab a pair of pliers and bend it back real quick. I've actually got a better chain catch coming for it. It did its job, dude. Like it was supposed to. Okay, that's better. Okay. Let me get these nuts snug down and I'll turn it. There's somebody from Italy right there just showed up. I'll flip it around. I'm gonna run the chain up. Snug it up. See there, Keith. So some Husqvarnas have outboard clutches on them, like say the 562 and the 550 XP Mark II. You see how that screech right there has got those notches cut in it right there. That's in case you pop the side cover off with the chain brake on it. You got to have one of these to reset the chain brake back, or you ain't never gonna get that side cover back on. You can forget it. Snug it down here. And then this dude right here. This bar here, somebody asked about greasing the tip of the saw on the bar. This bar right here is non-greasable. See, it doesn't have anything on it where you can grease it. But like this Husqvarna bar right here, it does. See, it's got a place right there where you can grease it. I don't think it's necessary to grease it every day. I think that's probably a little overkill. You know, you can do it, but I don't think it's necessary to grease it every day. The ones that you grease, I'll just grease them every now and then, and do that. So, yep, chain brakes are working. So this one right here is ready to rock and roll right there. Let's see here. Let's see, let me flip the camera back around. What's my favorite saw? I don't know. I have a lot of favorite saws. I have a bunch of them. I wish still put the purges like on the 500 on all of them, because like if you run the 362 or the 261 out of gas, man, it takes a little bit to get it back going. Alright, so the 500 is ready to rock and roll. Now, she's ready. Let's see. No, I don't do that, Brad. I just run it out, get the tension right on it like I want, and tighten it down. You can do that. It's not. A lot of people, the reason they do that is because they pick up on it, tighten it up, because as they run, as the bar drifts down, it's supposed to help keep the chain tight on it longer. But in my case, rarely do I have a chain come loose, and I don't bear down on the nuts, real hard. Somebody mentioned the 550. The 550 is a great saw. That's it right there. And here's a 261. Here, so we've got 362. I like that saw. The 550 is one of my favorites. The 261, I don't have a warm fuzzy feeling for this saw. It's okay. It's the equal to the Husqvarna, but it's not. That 261 won't touch that 550. What that 550 would do. If you're in the market for a 50cc saw, go with the Husqvarna. Period. End of story. The ergonomics on the Husqvarna saws are a lot better. One thing about them that's really good is the trigger, the throttle trigger, is rounded right there, and it fits your fingers so well. See this trigger? That trigger's square. It's square, so it's like the whole time you're running it, you're on the edges of it with your finger right there, and the feeling of it is not that good. There's a lot of vibration off of this saw right here compared to the 550. The 550, you don't feel the vibration on it. Like I said, the ergonomics are better on the Huskies compared to the Steels, like this one and this one. You see, there again on this saw, you've got a square throttle trigger compared to the rounded one on the Husky. But look at this. The throttle on the Steel, they rounded it a little bit on the sides. So on the 500, it feels different than it does on this one. It's wider on this one and more square on the sides. So one thing I don't like on the Steels is you see the gas right there all around it. That's my second gas cap on this saw. And this one right here is leaking too. I don't like these quarter turn fill caps. You just turn them right there and then open them. So it's right there, and then right there is supposed to be closed. I don't know if it's because of stuff that gets around them or what, but they don't seal like what I would like them to. Because I keep them laid up on their side so that they don't leak out. The Husqvarna has more of a thing. So Charles, I got a bark box coming for this saw right here. He just mentioned a bark box. I've got one coming for it, and it'll be here shortly. I've got a bark box coming for this saw, and then I've got a set of the large felon dogs coming for this 362. It only comes with one dog on it, and then I bought this second dog, and then I've got a set similar to those right there coming coming for this saw. And so I'm gonna take one of the dogs off of this saw, the outside dog, and I'm gonna put it on the 261 here where it'll go. I'll probably run this saw a little while, and then I'll probably put this saw up for I'll probably put it up for sale right there, because like I said, I don't really have a warm fuzzy feeling for it. I bought it to run it because I'm gonna do some weighing on the saws where I can show you the difference in them, what they weigh and everything. And so anyhow, I'll bring y'all up here and sit right here, and I'll kind of watch the comments for a little bit there. Let's see. What is a bark box? A bark box is a different muffler cover that West Coast Saws sells, and it's a ported muffler is what it is. And so a lot of people have got them on the 500s. They're very cool looking too. They give the saw a little bit different sound, more throatier sound. There's somebody from Australia right there, Stuart Hingston, Tasmania, Australia. I have shipped things several times. Yeah, I ran the 661 before. I sure have. There's not many saws that I have not ran at some point in time. No, I won't ever report and polish a saw. You start monkeying with them too much, they're gonna turn around and bite you. Yeah, we had 038s, we had 034s, we had 064s, and we had 044s back in the day. Let's see. James says, when do you think Husky will ever go injected? They won't. They're not going to go fuel injected route. They're going to stay with the auto-tune stuff. There's Bill from Georgia. Let's see. Yeah, I recommend the 572, the 550. Depending on what you're going to do with the 572, I wouldn't buy a 572 unless you're just going to be cutting big timber and you want to run a 30-inch bar or something like that. If you're just going to be running like firewood and stuff, cutting around the house and all, buy the 562. The 562 60cc saws are the best all-around saws, period. The power to weight ratio on them is really, really great. 3/8 chain, you can run a 28-inch bar on them. And I mean, you're not going to find many trees that you ain't going to cut, that ain't going to, a 28-inch bar is not going to handle. And there's a big price difference. I mean, the 60cc saws are in the $700 range. The 70cc saws, they're in the $1,000 range. So you can save some money there. And then like the 500 over there, that son of a gun's $1,400. There's Alan Abney from Rome, Georgia. Well, I've been over around Rome and Kingston a lot since September and all. So, yeah, that'll work. Darwin going to bring his 261 and 550 XP to the class. That's pretty good. Let's see. 880 is a beast. It is a heavy beast, too. I ran one of them quite a bit back, a long time ago, with a 4-foot bar on it. And let's see, there's somebody from Alabama, Nunya Beeswax. Sydney, I have not run any of the battery powered stuff. Let's see. DA wants to know what's the difference between a plantation cutting head and the head like what we have. The plantation head has a pocket over on the side of it so that when you're cutting trees, you're accumulating it. It'll actually hold more stems in it than like what our head will. And it's got a shorter tower on it too, because you don't need the leverage of the taller tower handling the trees because they're small trees. And let's see. Yep, I've ran the Domar stuff. We had a preacher that cut for us years ago. They had the old True Blue Sax Domar saws, and I ran his a good bit. Let's see, Roy said, tell us about the square ground stuff. The square ground stuff is pretty interesting. It does cut well. The only problem with the square ground stuff is the fact that the time that it takes. I mean, I can sharpen several round file chains to one square ground chain. I mean, there's no comparison in the time. And so I ran the square ground chain today too, cutting. I ran the 500, run a couple tanks of gas through it. I was with Mr. Larry cutting some big freaking trees today, man, that y'all see in the video later on. I mean, some show enough thumpers, oak and hickory. And the square ground chain is on the 362. So after I got kind of wore down on the 500, then I grabbed the 362 and ran it. And so then where we were at, where I was cutting for him at, it was in a right there by the river and where the river floods. And I could tell the grit was affecting that square ground chain pretty fast. And so that's a big drawback on the square ground chain, is you can't get it in anything. If you get it in anything, it's going to take those edges off, those points, because that leading edge up there comes to such a point, and it wouldn't take much to mess it up. Let's see, Locust Grove, Georgia. That 357 XP, man, that was a good saw. That was, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the saw before the 550, before they built it, I believe. I may be completely wrong on that. Let's see, there's Brandon from Iron Station, North Carolina. Now for Brent Yoke, we'll let you in the house there. There's somebody from Scotland, Jim Brown. Let's see, Darwin says Darwin's coming to the saw class. He said he bought a 550 because of my review. I'd love to know how many 550s that have been sold because of the videos and the 572s, man. Let's see. Tyler, man, I don't know that I'm ever going to hit 100,000, man. I mean, it's like watching paint dry or something. And, man, it ain't because I'm not trying, that's for sure. Let's see. I think Justin says, what about an EFCO? I think he's talking about an Echo. Echoes are decent saws. They got Echo's got a new one out that's supposed to be comparable to the 572. It's the Echo. It's a 7310 is what it is. And, yeah, Charles, he agrees with me on the flip caps. He says flip caps suck. I can't count how many I've replaced over the years. Need to go back to, yeah, the screw caps on the chainsaw is where it's at. That quarter turn crap ain't working. Redneck Isaiah, I've been to Asheville. I actually got some videos from there. Okay, EFCO, okay. I've never run an EFCO saw then. Let's see. Yeah, Royce, if you're cutting like trees you're pushing over and they got some dirt on them, nah, you better stick to the round stuff on it. let's see. Let's see. I've got one coming. I've got a bark box coming. Is what I've got. Yeah, see you there, Chad. I seen your comment today about getting a 550. That's a good saw. Robbie says he's got a chainsaw that's 20 feet long. Must be a big hydraulic one then. Let's see. The Dolmar stuff is good stuff too, man. Yeah. Let's see. Kevin, I ran that square ground in some hardwood today. It did pretty good, but the darn grit and stuff where I was at there, it just worked on it pretty bad there. Let's see. No, our deer season's not over yet. We go to the end of the month in Mississippi and February the 10th in Alabama. Let's see. Don't talk about today's video yet because I ain't watched. Napa Brent, what the heck you been doing? You been sitting there and playing with yourself all day today or what, dude? You've had all day to watch it. I know you ain't been that busy. It's 8:50, 9:50 there. Come on, man. Let's see. How does the steering work on the Tiger Cats? It's a joystick, and you go to the left to go to the left, and you go to the right to go right. Is all it does on that right there. So I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I have no idea. There's no telling. Yeah, John's talking about the 372. It's a good saw. Oh, I bought Napa Brent. I bought me a set of wipers yesterday and put on my truck yesterday, man. Mine been on there about 3 months. When we got that snow the other day, it kind of killed them or done them on in. So I put a set of the Bosch icons on it. And I hope they do a lot better because the other ones ain't worth a dang, man. Let's see. Let's see. Demetrius wants to know the difference between chip and saw. Let's see. Chip and saw versus chip and pulp. Okay, so chip and saw is trees that you can cut lumber out of. And so you cut some lumber out of a little bit of the tree, and then you chip the rest of it. Hence the saying, chip and saw. And so, like chip, when they're chipped, they take them and make pulp out of them. Is what they do. How old are you? I am 48. Is how old I am. I'll do a video on square filing. Let me square file a few more times and I'll do one. Let's see. Like I said, I'll do that. Let's see. Yeah, we have a long. Let's see. I looked at those 3-shank dogs and I wasn't sure about them. I went with the 4s. I've got the 4s on my 572 over there, and then I got them on that one, and I was going with the 4s on the 362 over there. I just wasn't sure about putting the 3s on there. The 462 is a good saw. It's very comparable to the 572. Myself personally, I like the 572 a little bit better than the 462 or the 461. Let's see. Kevin, I don't want to come help tomorrow. If I was close by, I would come over and film a video of y'all working. Is what I do. Skip tooth chain. I mean, the thing about a skip tooth, the biggest thing about a skip tooth chain, you don't have as many teeth to sharpen on it. And let's see. Yeah, Pulaski says the skip tooth is better if you don't like to file a chain. That's very true. When you get into longer bars, you know, the 30 plus inches and longer, yeah, the skip tooth, this speeds up the filing process a lot. I personally like a chain that's a full house type chain. It's got all the cutters on it. And I'm primarily running a 24-inch bar is what I'm running. Justin, I really don't know a lot about the like the 311 saws. I've run some of them, but I don't know a lot about them. And let's see. Hey. Lyndon Wright says, enjoy your channel. I like to fell over to see you had some steel chainsaws in my shop. I like steels myself, but on the fence between the 462 and the 572. Well, it kind of worked out to where it was an opportunity for me to run some steels. And so what I did back in when the 500 first came out, I got one. And so then, well, I got the 500 and the 362 at the same time. It took me a little while to get a 261. They were a little bit harder to find, and there's a lot of stuff that's hard to find right now. Napa Brent says, has a skip tooth been on meth? I don't know. That's a good question. Perhaps it has. Let's see. Sydney, do I like the electric sharpeners? Me personally, on a chainsaw chain, I don't. They've got new rocks now that are better, that won't burn the chains and stuff like that. And then if you're really gonna run a lot of square ground stuff, you know, looking at a electric grinder would be the thing to go on one of them. But those grinders cost $1,000 for the square ground stuff. But on the chainsaws, the normal chainsaws, like what I'm doing, I'm gonna hand file them. I can hand file them as fast or faster than somebody with an electric sharpener can go. If I don't have anybody bothering me or anything like that, I can just roll with it and go on with it. And I mean, I'm done with it real quick. Let's see, Tyler got him a Pit Boss. After watching all my Instagram posts, yeah, I cooked on that thing tonight. Let's see, what's my thoughts on the old bow saws? Man, they're dangerous. Stay away from them. There's still a lot of them around. I hadn't seen one in a long, long time, but be careful. And let's see. I will say this: the 500 steel, it burns quite a lot of gas too. It go through some gas on that dude, man. Of course, you got a 80 cc saw. Let's see. Kieran B asked, what's my thoughts of the 500i? I like the saw. I like it a lot. There's a few dislikes on it, like the fuel and oil caps. I don't like them. The saw is it's lighter than the 572 by, if you weigh the 572 with a normal Oregon bar on it, not a light bar on it, and the 500 with the steel light bar on it, it's an even 2 pounds of weight difference. Now, when you put the Sujihara light bar on the 572, it drops that saw about a pound, so they get within about a pound of one another then. But you know what they say, there is no replacement for displacement. And the 572 71 cc's and the 500 is 79 cc's. So you got 8 more cc's of displacement there in a saw body that is over a pound lighter than the 572. And the 500 holds 2 more ounces of gas than the 572 does. And the saw has got incredible power. I mean, the throttle response on it is insane. You can't describe the throttle response on it. It's like if you ever watch drag racing and you watch the top fuel cars, the way that they torque when they touch the throttle on them and they're doing burnouts, the 500 is very comparable to the reaction there, that quick, fast, just on power. I mean, it's you'd have to run one to experience it. But the bad thing is what that saw cost. You're looking at a $1,400 saw plus tax on top of that. And let's see there, Grant. We got rain. It rained all day yesterday and all night last night and up this morning up till about 9 o'clock this morning. All right, so I just had a couple of questions about Jay. Lee asked about Jay. I've actually met Lee before over in Jackson, South Carolina, and then Maine Jr. asked about Jay. All right, so the thing with Jay is Jay was helping us a little bit, and the deal was he's not released yet either, and so I'm not sure what the deal is on that, because that's been, I'm just going to talk for a little bit. I ain't going to look at the comments. So September, that was a year ago that Jay got hurt. And so he's still not released from the doctor. So he's still on workers' comp. And he technically is not supposed to be working, but he was. And then I wasn't showing him in the videos, but then I guess he got upset because I was filming and everything. And when we had my loader grapple go down, well, before my loader grapple went down, there were some things said and everything, and not to me, but it got back to me. And then I called him about my loader grapple, and he wouldn't tell me that that he wasn't going to come out there or whatever because of the videos. And so my dad called me, and my dad was telling me that. So I looked back at the video he was talking about, and there wasn't anything in the video with him on the one he was talking about. And so I'm not sure what's going on that deal, man. I don't know. Working on that equipment is tough, man. It's a tough job, and it's not easy. It's not very forgiving to do it. So I don't know that you'll ever see Jay back. I don't know. I have no idea. And I mean, we can't wait around on him to come back either. You know what I mean? And so, who knows? I have no idea. But we just have to, go other routes and things, things like that. But so it is what it is. When you fooling with YouTube and people, oftentimes when people really realize that you're making money or you're making a good income off of it, they'll want to shut down on you, you know what I mean? Or they'll want to, it affects them in a negative way, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And boy, I have fought a lot of that with folks, man, since I've fooled with YouTube I started posting videos in 2009, and then I only posted a few, and then 2014 is when I really fired up and started posting basically one a day. And so if you're going to go that route, you have to be prepared for that, because, man, folks they get a little jealous. They get a little hurt, and stuff. So I'm what time is it? It's 9:04. I'm fixing to shut this bad boy down. If you hadn't hit the like button, the thumbs up button, y'all give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to me, man, y'all come on, let's subscribe. I'm under 1,000 to hitting 100,000. And I was really hoping to hit 100,000 during deer season, and that way when I gave away the weekend to come hang out with me, if it was somebody who was into deer hunting or whatever, I was going to allow them to go hunting with me. Is what I was going to do. And but that's probably not going to happen because I figure it's going to take a little bit more time to get to it. But it is what it is. The subscribers are one thing. It's just kind of a foundation base of the size of your channel, but it don't pay anything. Subscribers, it's all about the views. It's all about the clicks, the views, and that's what it's all about. So if you're getting, because I look at other YouTubers, a lot of times I'll see them, they'll have 150,000 subscribers or 200,000 subscribers, and dang, they won't even have 5 million total views and stuff. So the views are where it's at, and man, y'all come through for me on that, and I appreciate that. But I'm fixing to shut this thing down. I hope all y'all have a great weekend this weekend, and stay safe out there if you're out and about doing things. And never fear, I ain't jumped ship on Husqvarna and all that. So yeah, Napa Brent, you're an old school tater. You've been around for freaking ever, man. You're like the old pile of cow crap out in the pasture that's been out there for about 10 years, and the rain won't ever, it just stays there. You hit it with a tractor and about blow the front tire out on it. Appreciate all y'all. Love you, Napa Brent. We'll catch y'all later. Later, taters.